Carrie's gonna record now.
Okay.
So, what's the name of the first piece you're gonna do?
Another male-bashing poem.
Okay, cool. That's the name of it.
Yeah. I used to use a disclaimer for that piece, but now I feel like the title is disclaimer enough.
Yeah, I'm sure that it is. It's disclaimer enough for me.
Yeah, totally.
I'm sure it will be for anybody who understands.
Totally.
All you have to do is do the poem, and then I think people understand.
Exactly.
All right, yeah, whenever you're ready.
Okay.
All right, bye.
Sitting in a room filled with young, egotistical males telling tales and stories of their conquests when I request that it be put to an end. This is a conversation I heard. Yeah, you know I want to get some pussy. Fuck yeah, man. If I'd known my bitch didn't put out, I would have done put her out. Hell yeah, you know it's all about the poo-nay-nay. Well, hey. You think just because she's out of the room, you should assume what you're saying is preying on the ears of different females. They hear too, and the strong ones will do something about it. How about it? You want to exploit your woman, your beautiful flower, your source of social power? Well, go ahead, but not in this bed, because I don't accept it, and you should respect that. I don't want to hear about your needs or how you do the deed. According to her, it's with great speed, but that's beside it all. I don't want to hear you call her a bitch. We've all got our own niche. Keep your eyes and words out of mine until you grow a spine or the smell of swine is dissolved. Conflict resolved. I don't want to hear your voice. And frankly, you don't have much choice, because in my land where all is good, I should be queen, if you know what I mean. I just clean up all the mouths of all those dirty talking sows that speak the same shit out loud. One day that cloud will be lifted and all the knowledge you've sifted through is gone. In one ear and out the other, another man without a brain. And all the emotional pain you've caused will be paused, and you'll stop and wonder, have I made another blunder? Underneath my very thick skull, is there anything at all? Oh no, just empty-headed hussies, headed to your used-to-be a star high school football player, unemployed, slightly annoyed, another check boy, bad-mouth sayer, hopeless without a prayer door. She wants more from you, but she won't be through until she's had her just desserts, endless efforts to reverse the role of the life you stole and sold to the black market. This game's done, it's time to forfeit. No one's won, but now your son's a backdoor gigolo singing your same solo about how every woman is a bitch or a hoe. It's not accepted. Time to correct it. You're the bitch and you're the hoe, running your mouth without a clue. There you go. Now what to do about the woman bashing, ignorant backlashing? You're stupid. Cupid's probably a lesbian because she's been busy with scouring and... Wait, fuck, dude. I totally fucked that shit up.
That's okay. Do you want to start over?
I guess so.
Okay.
That was good! Wow! That's great! Okay, you guys, thanks for coming to Sister Spit.
That's great. We're really glad to be here.
Oh, we're glad you're here too. We have a wonderful show for you this evening. Oh my God. I'm gonna pee.
All right, so
we're just gonna go right ahead and bring up our first performer.
Let's bring up the first performer.
Evening. The illustrious, the fabulous Harriet Dodge.
Clap for Harriet.
This here piece is called Hope. I'm gonna be somebody. I'm gonna be big, goddammit. I'm gonna go to Las Vegas and make something of myself. I'm gonna go to Vegas and I'm gonna be somebody. I'm gonna be somebody. I'm gonna be big. I'm gonna be big in Vegas. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you 3 parts, okay? Number 1, I wanna join up with God. No, in a really friendly, super ecstatic way, I want to feel that good, you know? God's all I care. Yesterday I went into this store and I saw a poster for like a yoga center, and it talked something about the Kundalini. And I never heard of that before, but apparently God enters the body through the butt. Now, I think this is key. Okay, now, bear with me here. I think it has to do with the great cycle of life and, if you will, manure as fertilizer, which is where things grow, right? Food. Okay, all I'm saying here is this portion of the body is apparently a big exit, entrance, transitional, spiritual area, and I'm not even going to get into that. God is change, and change is life. Number 2, my friend Bob, he really knew how to study. I mean, me, I never gave enough of a fuck. Plus, I always had this feeling that I was already supposed to know everything without having to learn it or study. Like I was born with all the knowledge in the world. I just needed to glean it from my flesh somehow. But one day I thought about all those poor suckers who studied, and what if they were nervous and got a bad grade? I said to Bob, Bob, I wish everyone just got the grade they truly deserved, and that people in general just got precisely what they deserved. In a nice way, I thought this. And he said, they do. And I said, what? And he said, don't they? And I was shocked. It had never occurred to me that the world was a just place. The thought had never crossed my mind. Now, I'm not saying I agree with him. I don't. I'm just saying it had never occurred to me that the world could, in some gargantuan way, be just. Old Bob was a Catholic. Number 3, when I joined the goddamn Navy, I was not thinking. I mean, there I was down on Milwaukee Avenue, okay, just blowing a little time next to the 7-Eleven. I was killing a little time waiting to pick up my old man from the train station, and I wandered in there, you know, and here I am just kidding around with these Navy fuckers, and they want to give me a little test as soon as I walk in, see if I can spell and add and shit. Duh. Yeah, I say, I'll take your goddamn test, all the while just thinking if I was any goddamn military guy, I'd be a goddamn Marine, because they're the heroes of the whole shebang, and they have the best dress outfits. Which I do care about. I like to look good. Most of the time, I look really fucking good. But the Marine's office was closed that night, and I took the sailor test. So the guy was fairly casual, low pressure, right? And then I asked him, did they have planes in the Navy? Because I have always wanted to fly. Did I tell you guys that already, that I have always wanted to fly? And then he said, yeah, they have tons of fucking planes. And then he promised me a whole bunch of benefits and also money for college. And in a matter of 20 minutes, I was goddamn well signed up. For 8 years you had to sign up to learn how to fly. I mean, I had gone in there to blow a little time, and like I said, I never thought much of the armed services, except for the plain fact that they're a bunch of dumb motherfuckers. I mean, it's not always easy to follow your dreams, and you gotta give with this hand to get with the other hand. You gotta make money, right? You can't always get. Sometimes you gotta pay a price. I started thinking about selling out, and why do people get mad at people who sell out? Why wouldn't they just feel sorry for them? I think about some famous artists who kind of went downhill after they got some attention. Like Elton John went a little downhill. On one hand, you want money, right? I think if I was an artist, I might want to start, you know, pleasing the people. And, you know, and then I got a hold of myself and I realized commercial success isn't everything. Like, look at Journey, right? They played to amphitheaters of people and their shit sucked. I mean, right, but then I started to think they're just regular fucking guys who like to play the guitar. I mean, they're just a bunch of guys, right? Just like me and you. They're probably okay. And you got to admit, Lovin', Touchin', Squeezin' is a really good song. Thank you.
Okay, this next one involves a little bit of audience participation.
Marsh, you want water?
Yeah. Water break. What it involves is, if you would, just sort of snap your fingers on the beat. Everybody on the same beat. And I think some of the girls on the tour kind of know how this goes, if you can kind of follow along with them. It's basically in the parts where I sing. Okay, and there's kind of like, I think 3 parts or something like that happens, and you guys hopefully will pick that up. Okay, why don't we just kind of all start off? That's good, just keep talking. This is a song about survival, and it's been said that the best way to annihilate a tribe is to take away their song. And I believe one of the reasons that African Americans survived slavery is because they were able to keep their songs, and they used them to tell people when to run and escape, and the overseers didn't know what they were talking about, right? So this is a nod to that, and it's called Song of the South. Run, little Mary, run. Run, little Mary, run, 'cause you deserve to be alive. I said, run, little Mary, run. Once upon a time, in the land of Flannery O'Connor's backyard, 3 wearied and embattled souls, eyes unfed, edges broken, gathered round the embers of what some once called a fire. Should have taken their song, the one with the sallow cheeks cried. Should have taken that goddamn song. For they remembered all the commensurate items. They starved them, flogged them, branded their hides, poured salt in their wounds. But they'd forgotten to take their song. They forbade them to speak, to whimper, to whine, rock themselves to sleep. Commingling was discouraged, along with coagulation, commiseration, and compassion. Sex, now that was permitted, was the act of love gained them 3 days without water, and bathing, on occasion. But in the end, after the restructuring of auction blocks and the downsizing of nooses, the straightening of ties, the handshakes, apologies, and the promises, they had forgotten to take their song. Run, little Mary, run. Run, little Mary, run. But it wasn't all discipline and deprivation. After all, the one with the moss in his beard argued, who was it introduced him to the wonders of salt pork? Piece of pork, echoed the blind one with the half-eaten nose. Don't nothing melt in your mouth like a bunch of collard greens and a piece of pork. Then where did we go wrong? Old sallow cheeks wailed as lament hovered over the cinders. Where on earth did we go wrong? Was that damn song? Youngest chimed in. Should have taken that goddamn song. Let's build a new breed, they decreed as the old one began to die off. Stronger, faster, vernal and virile bastards able to reproduce on command. We can rebuild them. We can fill them with our own seed and weed out the insolence, the self-worth, and the dignity. We can rebuild them. So the new breed was created, and the breed was good. It plowed without falling. It hoed and did not grow weary, cooked the live long day without sitting down. But beneath all the yes masses and ma'ams, between all the fraying tips of rawhide whips, if we lend our ears to the ground, we will still hear that song. For song and purpose, as these souls soon discovered, dwell even in the dime-sized drops of blood splattered on bare ground. Run, little Mary, run. I said, run, little Mary, run, 'cause you deserve to be alive. Run, little Mary, run. Thank you.
And this is Michelle T. Hi. I'm going to read poems that have nothing to do with the book. So, oh, look, I said poems and everyone was quiet. You guys are magical. Where did you all come from, poetry people? Okay, I have some poems. This one's called The Beautiful. A coke and a smoke as we roam the gray prairie. What sentiment do I want to express at the end of our world? A terrific excitement as we prepare to exit America. Its many eyes, America, the hydra, the milky stuffed beast, the roast beef sandwich of America. I have no doubt we created it. The absent truckers stitching the states together, the moving monuments of this country. We destroy a little bit of everything we pass. The bomb tucked dearly into farmland rest stops, missing but a simple bolt of certain rage. The wake of America at our tail. Oh, we could kill it, couldn't we? America, what shitty parents you were. We have to run away again and again. We keep coming back to see if you missed us, but you didn't even know we were gone. We write tell-all books about our rotten childhoods, the bad food you fed us, the coat hanger beatings. Can I process my bad relationship with America? Can we go to couples counseling? Can we sit down and talk about all this bad energy? Oh, America, I love you. I just want to go on a date with you and you won't even give me the time of day. Stuck-up bitch, think you're too good for me, America? I could have anyone. Canada, London, Amsterdam is in love with me, but it's you I want, America. What could I do to impress you? I could write you an anthem, but you have so many. Oh, fuck you, America. You're just so emotionally unavailable. You act like it's everyone else's fault. You're a really bad communicator, and you have serious boundary issues. I think you're really fucked up, America. I think you've got a lot of problems. I keep getting all these hang-up calls. I know it's you, America. You better cut the shit. I'm I'm getting a restraining order. If America comes within 25 feet of me, I'm throwing her ass in jail. How do you like that? You can dish it out, America, but you really can't take it, can you? You're such a baby. We've been together all these years, and you still won't let me call you girlfriend, America. You act like it doesn't mean anything. Well, I'm over it. I think you're really self-loathing. You know, I made you what you are today. I think you forget about that, America. Well, you can just forget about everything. You can just forget the whole thing, America. I'm going home. Thanks.
Do whatever they wanted and picked a bunch of girls out of a hat, tossed them in a van.
Yeah,
Lost them in two vans. Tossed in two vans. Lost one at the Mississippi border.
Yeah, Mississippi-Alabama border, midnight on a Friday night.
That was great.
It was really fun. The tow truck guy came to pick us up, and he was drunk, and he had his buddies with him, and they pulled up, and they were just like,
Girls were like whistling the theme to Deliverance. It wasn't
it's
fun.
so fucking scary. So anyway, he jacked 3 of us up in the van that had broken down, right? And then 9 girls got in the minivan. And the 3 of us that were jacked up on the side of the road were just like, Sarah Steinberg's like, I have a really bad feeling about this. Sherry's like,
I don't know why.
She's like, I have a really bad feeling about this. I'm like, yeah, well, he's drunk. He hates us. He's got bloodshot eyes. And Sherry's like, well, whatever happens, pal, I love you. And I'm like, fuck. And then, so he puts the lights on, and he's getting ready to take off, and then he gets out of the tow truck. And I'm like, oh, he's getting out of the tow truck. He's coming towards us. Comes up and pounds on the window. I'm like, he's like, how many of y'all are in there anyway? And we're like, 3. There's 3 of us in here. He's like, good, because I want to know how many bodies are going to scrape off the pavement when I total this fucker. And I'm like, he got out of the van. Sarah's like, honk the horn, get out of the van, honk the horn, honk the horn. Got out of the van, put 12 girls into a minivan, and followed our brothers as they did a U-turn across the median and on the interstate, did a U-turn. We're like, oh my God, there's the van. Yeah, and so anyway, the next day he died, and now we have a budget rental van.
Budget. Cargo van. Huge. It says budget all over.
And Sears.
Could have got them to sponsor us. But
So anyway, we're alive, and that's really good. That's really good.
We're very, very happy for our next guest.
Live from New York City, it's
Eileen Miles! Yeah!
Hi, I'm Eileen Miles. This is the New York leg that I'm lifting. This one's called Merc. There's too much light in my life. There, that's better. The street people recommend. Don't let your brother fling his leg and arm around you like you're his girlfriend, humping your kneecaps, stuff like that. The vilest smell of all tonight is human food. It's November when the moons switch places. White is bad, black is good, food stinks. Carrying their buckets of soup to their stupid abodes. Furs around their necks. Beasts. What do humans eat? Dogs, more or less. Ripping fruit from the vine, snipping the crop. Maybe vegetables would like to let their baby be too. And never, never eat the human. That is a crime. Push my machine to see what Nazi called me. Go out and kill her with my teeth. I'm a bored outsider. The season is cold. Everywhere doors are slamming. And look who you're in the room with now. Someone to eat, I hope. Think of Goethe, Werner Goethe with his leg flung up on a rock in Italy. Take a bite of that fat calf. He's like a big posing gondola. What's the idea? Every poet I know is a partial artist. The lucky ones are dead, naturally incomplete. But look at everyone you think of hanging on to some misapprehended particle of modernism, all plumped up with pillows. There's nothing after a modern idea for poets. All they do is think and eat. If you call that making something, and I don't call that art. We must offer ourselves up as food, or eat someone. If you can make there be less of someone else, or someone can take a bite out of you, then you can join in the incompletion or excess of your age. I'm sick of seeing dunces celebrated. That's a job. Someone that looks good in ribbons. Someone surrounded by their editor's arms. Love object of a lesbian, but not being one. Particle board, potential screenplay, plastic hair, translates well. Millions will hold you on the train. Bite me now, bite me forever, and you're too strong. Oh, eat me, read me something. I am the daughter of substitution. My father fell instead of the dresser. It was a family joke. His death. Not a suicide, but a joke. How could I accidentally get eaten? slipping into your sandwich or refrigerator, sort of a dick that crawls up from the bottom of your ice cream cone. It's too late for some of us, but for others, it's never late enough. Tonight, when they moved the lights and everything looked completely horrible for a change, I was looking for sympathy, and you asked me for the menu. I have escaped the unseemly death of the alcoholic, yet I keep my ear so close to the ground, and I know what they know. I begin to smell funny, another fate. It was as if I was falling last night, but I imagined myself a bit of food, and I was safe in your mouth, and I would never die. It is a legacy of my family to change in the air and smash as something new. Not a woman, but a chair full of flowers. Not a poet, but a donut or a myth. Go up there and get me a cracker, darling. And proudly I walked.
All right, and speaking of fun in the van, next is Beth Listen.
Yay, Beth!
You ready to go, Beth? Yay!
Fun in the van. Yeah, I think that's fine. I recently went on vacation to New York City, and I just gotten out of this relationship of 3 years, and usually, you know, when you go to New York, you have a really good time and do all sorts of fun stuff. And then I realized after being there for 4 days that all I had done is one of those like Biore nose things that pulls the blackheads out of your nose, and that's the only thing. Yeah, it really works. It's really. We'll bring some in the van. So this is written. For winter, it was an unusually temperate day on the Lower East Side of Manhattan. As I carried my bagel and coffee down 6th, past Hugh Grant on the street, though I'd never seen any of his movies, I said, "Hey, Hugh," promptly went back to my friend's apartment and shaved off my pubic hair. Instantly, I was horrified. What a bad move. I couldn't even look at the thing anymore. Too scared to leave the house, thinking that if I were struck down by a car, or more likely that shooting pain in my head was something serious, I would drop dead on the street and my parents would be forced to identify the body. As the coroner ripped off the sheet with the flourish of a magician, my unpierced and tattoo-free body would be made to look all the more ridiculous with a razor-rashed pussy. Razor-rashed pussy. Let's all say it. Razor-rashed pussy, screaming out like a beacon not only of dashed hopes, but bad technique. Mom and Dad would want to get to the bottom of this one. So, like Laura Palmer, I would be subject to a series of investigations to uncover my secret life. But there would be no evidence of employment at strip bars, houses of prostitution, sex clubs, dungeons, or performance art loft parties. No pasty-faced perverts would come forward to say that they were my secret clients. And all 74 people who have come in contact with my vagina will be separately tracked down and interviewed. Even that speedhead bike messenger who kicked me out after I made him pancakes on his birthday, and all would uniformly respond that they remembered, fondly, a soft, silky, downy lamb chop and not the bald horror presented to them via these perfectly focused Polaroids. So maybe something had gone on in the last few hours of my life for me to resort to this self-mutilation. Nope, the report would say. It looks like she was just on vacation. She woke up late, as usual. She purchased a bagel and coffee, cream, no sugar. She saw Hugh Grant on the street, didn't think nothing of it. She went back and just shaved off all her pubic hair. Badly. Apparently, the bagel was poppy seed. My parents, hungry for answers, would watch the investigator pop another roll-aid into his pink mouth, hang his head in ham-fist hands, and say, "Well, we've determined your daughter didn't commit this act at the request of a sexual partner, and she obviously wasn't making any money off that thing. It appears just to be poor judgment. But I'm not dead. I'm alive, and I itch. There's me walking over to the copy machine at work. Every step a prickly reminder of my unattractive secret. There's me waiting in line for the bank machine. Got my card ready, surreptitiously performing the credit card test and flunking it. Scratching away like it was a lottery ticket or something, coming up with nothing. Another loser with shallow pockets, thank God.
Carrie Campbell. This is Cindy to Carrie Campbell. Carrie Campbell to Cindy. Our technology is failing us.
Okay,
I love that we're recording this album on the phone, and it's all
Me
going to
too. It's brilliant.
and be done
Yeah.
before we leave on tour.
Yep. I know. It's so
Okay.
exciting.
So what's the second song?
All right. Leaving messages is actually something I enjoy doing, unlike everyone else I know.
Yeah.
So I really like calling people and leaving messages because I think it's neat that my voice gets turned digitally into an object of sound that gets to be replayed at a later date in time. It's like I get to exist more than once for those few moments. I'm really just getting to be cloned in a beautiful way that's very eternal, and I think it's pretty amazing and one of the things I love most of technology. I think I'm going to sing this song called Wonderella Marvella. Wonderella Marvella is a beauty queen, is a wet dream. She ought to be an ice cream flavor. Wanna do her a favor. She's got lots of sharp things. She's got lots of thin wings, like a bumblebee, like a fairy, like a dragonfly, like a goodbye, like a lie, 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 like a lie, 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 lie. Wonderella, Marvella, elevated and elated, always trying to fly, always getting high, always on the sly, always slipping by, on her way to die, 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 die. And the world is what it is, and the world is what it is. Pick your poison, pick your pleasure, pick your pain, pick your leisure. And when the lights are low and no one's there to see, are you who you are, or do you look for who to be? Are you who you are, or do you look for who to be? Are you who you are, or do you look for who to be? Are you a victim or a victor? Are you a player or played for? Are you on your way there, or are you on your way back? Did you find what you were looking for? Did you lose what you lacked? Did you make up your own rules, or did you obey theirs? Do you judge others? Do you judge yourself? Wonderella, Marvella is a beauty queen, is a wet dream. She ought to be an ice cream flavor. No one can ever save her. She is saved, 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 saved. She is saved, 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 saved.
Yay.
Alrighty.
I did hear that song before. I love it.
Really?
Yeah.
So I was thinking of maybe doing one more song and then letting you guys pick whichever one. Good to see you.
Yeah, we'll talk to you soon. I'll call you in the next week or so.
XOX.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Carrie Campbell?
Who is so cute.
I know. I know. She's great.
She is really good with the telephone.
I know.
That's all I have to say.
I know. It's totally impressive.
Very exciting. Okay, this is a chapter out of the novel that I'm writing. I've been writing for 42 years, and it's called Godspeed. There's this fine young Berliner thing bartending at the firehouse. She gives me free beer because I'm a friend of Rosemary, the Albion bartender. All the mission bartenders are pals. They bar hop around the neighborhood after work and visit each other drinking free Jägermeisters. I sit and stare and pretend not to stare. She's a punk rock reincarnation of Marlene Dietrich. I gotta have a distraction. To forget true love, so why not focus on some impossible dream of a straight girl with tall pink hair, lots of eyeliner, and a deep throat Berliner drawl. I could whip myself into a fascination. I follow her around after her shift. She comes to the other side of the bar to be served for a change. She talks to tall, dark strangers while I hover, trying not to look at anything but her, but I can't. She's a fucking X-rated cartoon. The ideal parts all stuck together to become your teenage boy fantasy. Her name is Uta. She says this, Uta. I pass out every night pronouncing her name. One night, she gives me pink triangular pills after feeding me pints of ale all night. An hour later, my knees begin to buckle. I say, Uta, if you do not take me home to your apartment right away, I am going to sprawl out on the floor right here in the bar. I tell her this because it is true and think how smart and lucky I am that her apartment is right around the corner, and I know she will not let me lie in the beer for long. She says, just wait a minute. She's impatient with me because she's having a sexy discussion with some boy who I later find out is her stupid boyfriend. I wait obediently, and after my legs have become very watery, I say, Uta, I really don't think I can stand up for one more minute. I mean it. She ignores me for some length of time, which I can no longer measure, while I tightly grip the edge of the bar. The rest of me is holding out fine. I see just one of everything. My speech isn't slurred, and I can think clearly. It's only my legs which can't function. Surreal. Finally, she says, okay, let's go, and walks out. I yell, hey, Uta! Still holding on to the edge of the bar. She turns and looks mildly bored. I can't walk. She strolls back in and offers me her elbow, which I am so happy that she is loving me like my mother did, which is a rather pathetic, you are rather pathetic and you need me, how charming kind of way. I am touching her, linked arm in arm like school chums. I have had the most intense romances with school chums, although they never knew it. Her stupid boyfriend, who I still had no idea was her boyfriend nor how stupid he was walking on the other side of her. Suddenly, she tripped and flew sideways through the air, diving headfirst into a parked Cadillac. I do not know if you have ever hit another car bumper with a Cadillac bumper, but I have, and other car bumpers always splinter or crumple, and there's never a scratch on the Caddy bumper because it's solid chrome-plated steel. So, I stumbled over to her where she was laid out on the street between two parked cars, and I was as concerned as I could be, considering I was on a pill that had such a calming effect. These must be what are given to housewives to shut them up when they suddenly realize they are trapped in a really ugly box. Uta's lying there, not moving. She took some of the little pink triangles, too. I thought she could handle them better than I could since I was an avowed speed freak and she liked downers. I thought I couldn't walk because I wasn't used to not being able to walk, but if you always took drugs that made you unable to walk, you would eventually learn to walk on them, but she hadn't. Nah, hot! Heckle me, baby! Yeah! I love you, baby. So, yeah, she must have just bought whatever was on the market that day, as long as it was a pill that slowed her ass down, and boy, was she going slow now, getting her money's worth. I lifted her head up and looked at the baseball growing there. She opened her eyes. I glanced up at Stupido, thinking for a split second, you are my ally. We both love her. Help me. I said, we should take her to the hospital. Nah, she'll be okay. Let's just get her home, he said. God, what an idiot. The two of us leaned into each other and got her on her feet. We all had snake legs. He carried her up the stairs. Well, at least he was good for something. I don't remember what happened after that. I went home with her lot. Both of us drunk from the bar whenever he wasn't around. One morning I woke up with the sun streaming in on us on the fold-out bed under a twisty sheet. I saw her sleeping next to me and fell in love. I slid down the bed and pulled off her tiny cotton panties and gave her some head while she was still asleep. Yeah, she woke up coming. I'll never know if she faked it to stop me because I was so bad or if she actually came because I was so good. I do know she didn't give a fuck about getting head from a girl because she was from Berlin and nothing ruffled her. I followed her around the rest of the day in a rosy cloud. She said, stop trying to hold my hand. Just because I let you go down on me doesn't mean I am your girlfriend. Oh yeah, she was a goddess.
What office are you at? Where do you work?
I'm at I work at a Marlboro-sponsored magazine for called Unlimited for straight men from the ages of 22 to 26. It's like an outdoor adventure magazine. Unlimited, like the dreams and desires of straight men.
Wow, how perfect for you.
It's really good.
That's
and
awesome.
I research like events that they might like to go to, like black powder shoots and musket building workshops. And
the Sister Spit Show.
Yeah, and the Sister Spit Show. That's big. That's not in the cover. 21 acres of guns and knives and lesbians reading poetry.
In other news today, California will become the first state in the nation to chemically castrate twice convicted child molesters under a new law signed by Governor Pete Wilson.
I hear you say the American way. Through a black box distorted view with static and lines. And I wonder where this American place you speak of is. Carefree, white, hetero, class man. Safe, respect, trust, and tradition, the American way. Through a distorted box, blue. Your privilege is private, sir, and your babies are protected. And that golden gate you surrounded yourself and your family in is a trap. And that fuzzy green grass that your privileged, pampered feet have been placed on since birth, it isn't a magic carpet, sir. You better watch what you sign. Step outside your situation and watch what you sign.
She's just a baby who should have been born blue, loser. Blue eyes, 100% wide, genuine, loser. She is all that she can be, born loser. Mother's a fucker, father's a cop, brother's a mute, sister's a dyke. Smoking, drinking, leg spreading junkie, undereducated, over self-medicated, pussy bleeding, mind eating, wheels turning, soul sucking, non-believing. She's on the other side of the tracks, and the lines mark her arms. She's got eyes like fucking Jesus when she's shooting. Blue oceans wide, sunk in her head. No one ever taught her how to swim. Baby blue born loser, she's all that she can be. Took the first silver spoon she ever saw right out of another baby's mouth. Bent it up just right, shoved it up her asshole for later use. I guess she knew she picked the right hole. You see, Jesus wouldn't be sleeping in her asshole, but he'd be crawling up her cunt, stretching it out for later use. Baby blue eyes, 100% wide. She is all that she can be. She's a born blue loser. She's God's manhole. And I've got Jesus's eyes.
Fuck you, I'm Wonder Woman. Shucks. I have cinched my waist to distort and accentuate these wide and mighty rolling hips, the childbearing hips you love. I have worked my thighs into granite for you because you like them wrapped tight and warm around your neck, my feet entangled in your long red cape. I have learned to accessorize wisely. My stylish hipster ensemble is stunningly draped in defense, while my elegant forearm bracelets provide a jaunty complement to my soft and milky skin. They also repel your attacks. Fashion Armor Vogue for today's woman. I have a magic lasso because I have to fucking tie you up to force your honesty. I need a rope from another planet to pry the truth from your pursed and smirking lips. I have knee-high, harder, faster, fuck me red boots. My boots have a voice that essentially says, "Excuse me, sir, would you mind politely backing the fuck up?" My boots are tasteful, and my boots are strong. So when you come home from Lois's at 3 a.m., high on smack, as plunder has become boring, conquer so sublime, sobrieties so 90s, and you quietly snake the keys to my jet from my utility belt as I sleep naked and alone awaiting your form on the mattress next to me, and you take my jet without asking, the only one of its kind, and on the nod, too fucked up to even fly your own tired ass, and you crash my shit into an untouched tribe, then talk a gang of shit about saving them from their primitive ways, never acknowledging that a heroin mishap dropped you in their midst in the first place. Then you begin to colonize them, control them, and in the name of progress, you have the audacity to tax them for that privilege. I don't think I'm overreacting due to PMS, as you so often chide me, to be so bold as to say to you, fuck your speeding bullets, fuck your tall buildings, fuck your single bound, Superman, fuck you, I'm Wonder Woman.
Holy shit, Sarah Seinberg.
God.
All right, for the steamy reading. Okay, who's next?
I think next up is Ida Acton.
It's true.
Kicking ass for the working class. Ida Acton.
Hot mama.
Okay, I just wrote this piece yesterday. It's called Epiphany. I had an epiphany buried halfway into that woman. You see, I started out just fucking her, fingers and thumb and hand and arm, and before I knew it, I was climbing in with snot and tears, and I don't want to be here anymore on my lips, on this shoestring, haphazard, barely making it existence, on this bed and ache in my bad knee, fucking this girl who doesn't give a rat's ass about me. I wanted to disappear, climbing through some kind of cunt portal, some hole in the world that only the truly forsaken can find, to start falling, to fall through woman and bed and floor and foundation, which just gives way beneath me to reveal an endless chasm, a black swirling outer space as I leave this flat, breakable, and ultimately disappointing earth behind. And I want to go back. I want to feel like I'm 15 again. I want to learn how to fly by barreling down flat Ohio highways with a white filtered cigarette clenched between my teeth. And I don't know if she came, and I kind of doubt it, because nothing in the world will ruin a fuck quicker than an epiphany, especially an epiphany about your fucked up life. And God, I'm sweating like I'm sick, kind of cold, kind of sticky. I feel about an inch away from being completely overtaken by panic. I feel like I'm on speed again. I feel poisoned, and I'm trying to breathe through a cocktail straw, trying to replace air with Jack Daniels, Coca-Cola, and melting ice cubes. Trying to use a burning cigarette as a leg to stand on, trying to maintain some thin sense of composure, remember the rules of propriety and decorum, but breathing only works when you don't pay attention, and I'm drowning in a sea of idle conversation. My tongue weighs 50 pounds in a mouthful of cotton. I want to throw up just so I have something to do besides smile, and I can't say anything worthwhile. I want to throw up to keep myself from screaming, hey everybody, guess what? I just spent the last half year of my life with a woman who doesn't give a fuck about me, and I feel really great about it. And God, no, I'm not saying that to make you feel sorry, and I'm not saying that to make you feel sad. I'm just saying that to tell you I had an epiphany. Hey everybody, guess what? I just spent the last half a year of my life with a woman who doesn't give a fuck about me, and the only thing I feel good about is getting out of it.
Ida Acton. What a treasure. Getting in the van.
Well, you
Right
can spend the
on.
rest of your life with somebody like me, and I'll care about you, baby.
Ida, you're going to spend 6 weeks in the healing van. with the women.
You should have Yurko tell you one time his story about working at this poster place where he sold like these framed posters, and he just happened to like on his first day on the job go to some guy who developed a crush on him right away and bought like 30 posters from him. And so the poster place thought that he was like the best employee they had ever had, and he quit on the second day, and they started flipping out and saying things like, "What, you're afraid of success? You're afraid of money? I'm sorry, that's really sad, man.
Oh, that's so funny.
Sorry you don't want to win."
That is so funny.
Yeah. It was really funny. They did a cheer every night where, like, they all got around in a circle and they'd be all, "I don't know, but I don't care," you know.
Oh, no.
"I don't know, but I've been told there's some posters got to be sold."
Oh, God, you're kidding me.
No. It's really weird and kind of demented.
It's totally demented.
Yeah. There's some posters got to be sold. What the fuck?
Hey, do you want to be in the gay parade with Sister Spit?
Oh, what do we do?
Wave.
All right. After dinner, there was a movement session in the main area. I was dreading the movement thing because I knew it would be weird and hokey, and I don't like expressing my feelings in ways which include my body and make me feel embarrassed. The crowd always seems to have a feeling of, I would never do this, but here I am at a retreat with loving and supportive people, so what the hey? 1, 2, 3, everybody shed that corporate America lifestyle, but leave it in the corner neatly folded so you can grab it Sunday before you leave. I should probably investigate why this bugs me so much, but the answer would probably be boring. So I stuffed down my feelings of being cheated by dinner and tried to roll with it. The whole group congregated in the back of the big lodge room, and Shakti stood up front. She said, "Sometimes I'm walking around feeling on top of the world, and then suddenly I feel angry. Everybody walk angry." And she started stomping around the room with reckless abandon, Iron John at Drama Club. One by one, the emotionally available masses crossed the floor, shooting their pent-up anger out of their heavy feet. I tried to join in. I made fists and poofed my socked feet against the ground. I couldn't bring myself to hunker my butt down in the gorilla caveman styles others were using, so I just heaved across the floor, straight up, trying to channel my deep-seated anger, but finding only disenchantment with these bizarre people. I couldn't believe how stupid the whole thing felt, and I've done some weird shit in therapy. When everyone had performed one angry lap, Shakti was back at the front of the room, and she yelled, "Sometimes I'm just so busy!" We started bustling around the room like Melanie Griffith in Working Girl, and that one was easy. Busy, I'm on top of that. At the beginning of each emotion, there would be this thrilled whoop from the crowd as though someone had delivered ice cream, though it was actually permission to feel all those nasty emotions everyone was holding inside. I wondered if we would all rent pornos later. The crescendo of emotions started to feel like a soccer game, and Shakti went on and on through several emotions, and then I left. I snuck out to the kitchen and started crying. What you should know is that people never leave these activities. It's just not normal because the spirit of the group is so high. This finely tuned emotional outburst machine relies on each of us to move forward, but I could not be another cog. I was sad about so many things leading up to the retreat, figuring out how much longer I could work at my job at the AIDS hospice, and I couldn't believe I was up in nature with people I couldn't relate to. I needed to deal without 27 other people at my side wanting to handle our troubles collectively with a big pillow fight. I am not opposed to dealing with gushy emotion stuff, and I am not generally opposed to esoteric ways of getting there, but the dolphin retreat was not the place for me. I was sitting against the wall in the kitchen, having big feelings and crying my eyes out, like Molly Ringwald at the Dance in 16 Candles. So Shakti came in and asked me what the deal was, and all I could tell her was that the whole thing felt so wrong and I didn't belong there and I needed to leave. I had packed all my stuff for the first time that weekend. It was late and she implored me to stay, so I did. I figured I could always leave in the morning. Shakti asked me if there was anyone I would allow to be with me in my broken-down state, so I named my two pals. We got to leave the group activity because of my obvious trauma. We went for a walk up a hill in the clear, sharp dark. Fortunately, my friends and I brought some chocolate bars to the retreat so a little justice could occur after that useless vegan meal. The night sky is incredible at Harbin because there are no lights around. All the space above you is big and deep blue, and when walking you are surrounded by tall, majestic trees. The air is cool and clean, and being alive feels like the most gracefully insane gift. As we walked up over the rutted dirt road, I thought about how the land we stood on is stolen from its indigenous people and heralded to its current visitors as sacred, like we can just suck up the magic juices by standing there. And most land in this country has been stolen or disgraced in some way, but it strikes me that Mission Command at Harbin Hot Springs purports to be doing the best, most empathetic work with the land, and really, if they meant that, I can't believe that charging admission to a hot springs where people can park their fancy cars and fuck in the tubs is the most empathetic scenario. And there I am, mucking through it all, wondering who runs the place and if there is any justice where there appears to be none.
I can't wait to have a baby. Does anybody want to have a baby with me? Okay, thanks, Sherry. The kid will just be like,
Yeah.
fucking shit all over its face.
You know, if two ladies fuse their ovum together, they get a girl baby. Did y'all know that?
Sherry, you want to fuse?
If two ladies fuse their
that
ovum,
mean?
you get a girl baby. It works.
Oh, the new technology right now. I was watching Oprah Winfrey last week. I'm fucking petrified, man. Their guy was on there writing the book, The Gay Gene, and he's like, in another 20 years, we're going to be able to surgically remove the gay gene. We're going to be able to test that from birth. And so the heterosexual parents of these children have the option of whether or not to remove the gay gene. This world is fucking frightening. I'm sorry. I think it is. That was on Oprah. Hi. Huh? Yeah, well, I mean, what is that? I mean, I kind of believed him. I kind of got scared for a second. I was just like, I called Michelle. I was like, we need to make a baby.
She was
we need to make a
freaking
baby
out.
now.
I was just watching Oprah Winfrey. I was like, oh, sweetie, sit down. You need some tea. You want me to come over?
I was traumatized. I want a queer child.
It's so sad when your friends call you all revved up over a talk show. You're like,
shut up. I do not need a job. I could be doing this for the rest of my life.
That's right. She's got a job. Just don't pay.
They can try to remove my gay genes. I'm going to punch them in the face.
Jeans are so gay.
This is called Exhume. I will take the earth in my hands and release you. You will not be forgotten, my friend. I will rip the dirt on your grave with my bare hands, release you from the filth of shame and silence that you were buried in. And I will speak your name loudly and the name of your murderer. I will scream AIDS. Grief is caught in my throat like the aftertaste of vomit and rage, makes my knuckles white and my teeth move against each other like seismic plates grinding against each other beneath the skin of earth. I will tear off the skin of earth that buries you in silence. My knuckles tense and white will rip the shroud of shame off of your resting face, peaceful in sleep, and loudly I will state the name of your killer, AIDS. Anger and spit will flow from my mouth, napalm and rage that I wasn't told by your family when you were near death. I had promised you to be by your side. I wanted my arms around you when you died. I wanted to leave you with my love still warm on your cheek. I wish I could have been there to tell you not to be afraid. Your father opted for shame, couldn't deal with the fact that his little girl was a dyke, his little girl was dying. He couldn't deal with the fact of who his little girl was. None of your friends were there to bury you. Your moment of death was kept secret. The family feared a bunch of queers at your funeral. The queers who cared for you, fed you, pushed your wheelchair around, loved you, listened to you, brought you flowers and marijuana, doled out your medications and cleaned up your vomit and held you close, sat at your bedside, told you stories. Yes, queers who love you, queers who were your family, your friends were denied a last goodbye to you, all for the fear that someone might loudly state the name of your killer, AIDS. You were buried in silence and shame, in dire opposition to the way you lived your life. And since you can no longer speak, all who know me will know your story. Your story will not be obscured by ignorance. Your vibrant life that burned evanescent across the sky will not be darkened by lies. Your story, my friend, must be told. Beth, killed by AIDS, age 25, tattoo artist, dyke, activist, musician, my lover for 2 years, backpacked and hitchhiked the country back and forth, up and down, told tall tales, opened her door to everyone, read voraciously, worked for a carnival, as a bouncer at CBGB's, was a trained EMT, owned 7 Volkswagens in a row, loved ice cream, smoking pot, telling stories, and playing guitar. She loved laughter and loved being the center of attention. She once beat up a man who called her a dyke in the street. She was a restless soul, a soul at rest. Rest, my friend. I miss you so much. I will rip up the dirt on your grave with my bare hands, throw fistfuls of dirt into the sky, exhume the bright fire of your passionate life. The incandescence of your spirit will be exhumed from the shroud of fear, ignorance, and shame placed on your peaceful body by people who cannot deal with the fact that you are a dyke who died of AIDS. You lived your life so ferociously, seen more in 25 years than most complacent people see in a lifetime. You did not shy away from the name of what you knew would kill you. No, you fought to be included in clinical trials for new drugs. You distributed syringes and condoms to hookers and junkies in the combat zone. You spoke to a room of hundreds of doctors as a woman with AIDS and told them to get off their asses. You talked about AIDS on television. You demonstrated, and your voice was loud, so loud. And I miss you, my friend. I love you. The last time I saw you, you weighed 60 pounds and could no longer walk, and yet your eyes were clear and sharp above the acute ridges of your cheekbones. You were at once a child and a very, very old woman. You were so brave and strong, looking at your incapacitated body lying lost amongst thick piles of blankets on your bed and the intravenous tubes that entered your chest. I knew that I was not strong enough to endure your slow death. That I had two left hands incapable of using the tools your courage wished to hand me. Tossed into the currents of things much vaster than me, I could not equal your courage. You were the one suffering, and you outdid all of us, your friends, with your unbelievable strength of will. Our country is littered with the pigeon shit encrusted monuments to men who have died bravely for America and other valiant deeds. But let's see some fucking statues erected to those who have suffered long, incredible physical pain, who had suffered loss of autonomy over their own bodies and lives, who have been murdered by the apathy of the richest country in the world, who have had their beautiful lives obscured by shame and fear. I will dig up the earth with my hands and release you. You will not be forgotten, my friend. You are buried in secrecy and shame, but I will not let your story be denied. I will yell as loudly as you, and all who know me will know your story, and all who listen will hear your anger and love, and I will tell your story loudly, and I will never stop telling.
Really glad to hear that it's going to be a healing band. When I was a kid, there was this game called Girls Chase the Boys, or alternately Boys Chase the Girls, or there was Heats or Sardines. All those street games involved either hiding, getting chased, getting caught, chasing, catching, looking for hidden people. I loved running down the street so fast I was never caught, and laughing out of breath, screaming hysterical with fear and excitement, getting out of tight places, climbing a pipe on the side of a house to the roof, burying money in oranges and comics for future generations to study, the whites of my dirty fingernails setting like tiny faded suns, the residue of time and minerals etching everything into the calendar of my flesh. When I was in the womb, my mom did drugs, so I'm already in an altered state of fear, anxious longing, immorality, immortality, depraved and psychedelic, strange. I had the teenage initiatory ODs, once found myself becoming a huge albino python, about 5 feet around and 15 feet long, and laughing at people in cars. It was clear to me they wanted to be like us animals. They built machines that move quick like us at night. Frozen deer machine runs over deer. Frightened by that growling sound? Get a tune-up. It's not gray wolf outside your door. It's not a gray wolf outside your shack. And hope is not Bob Hope. Hope is grandma putting on her lipstick. Hope is not Bob Hope. Hope is grandma putting on her lipstick, knowing seduction is compatible with liberation, saying conflict means not to love, and her friends got glaucoma, which is like having ghost dust glued to your eyes. She's trying to avoid shallow pressures, shallow problems, drops in the bucket, like letters in the alphabet, dust in the wind, numbers, crafts of the wicked, lies of the ages, the unforced lingua, the ocean of wasted guilt, time out of mind, and this theory. What if there is no breaking free? And some say the future is passé, and like the glowworm we are radiant as we bitch, an inch by inch. I want to be able to give back to you as much as you give me, unfettered and balmy like wet fall leaves tossed in a rain just starting, and that sweet breath wind on rural peninsulas in storms. Wet leaves and rain just beginning, that chiming of small birds warbling under branches in wet grass. I can't get it out of my mind, that's the sound of rain, and I wish I could cry.